Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm great, thanks for asking. Now, before we start today's video, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's given us a lot of support in the last few vlogs. Hashtag vlog over 50k, Salford nearly at 50k, absolutely amazing. You guys are absolutely smashing it with the support, so thank you very much. And make sure you do get your suggestions in for teams that we might not know about. There's a lot of stories in non-league football and we can't cover everything. So we want to know the most interesting stories, the stories that you want to hear. So make sure you get your suggestions, God butchering my words today, in the comment section below. But Michael, back to today, where are we?
So we've returned to Tolworth today, but this time to check out Corinthian-Casuals. Not only one of the most historic clubs in English football, but also one of the most important clubs in the history of the global game. We're here to see what makes them so special. Let's go.
We have a lot of fun here at Football Daily, don't we?
We do have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. We like to put a bit of fun back into your lives.
Michael's ordered us 2 caipirinhas. Not too sure what's in it, but it's not beer, which is good because beer's messing with my stomach recently.
So you may be wondering why this small club that play in a little corner of southwest London are so special, and why we're sipping on caipirinhas by the side of the pitch. Well, that's because they are credited with introducing football to the wider world, most notably Brazil. At the turn of the 20th century, Corinthian FC were one of Europe's elite sides, despite no one at the club, including the players, getting paid anything. For a number of years, the team supplied the majority of the players for the England national team and was made up of some of the country's best all-round sportsmen. And they weren't just introducing other countries to the sport, but to a whole philosophy of playing, the so-called Corinthian spirit, which valued sportsmanship, fair play and playing for the love of the game above everything else. Hence why even today, no one at the club gets paid.
Well, Corinthian-Casuals are very different. The site, you know the history of the club with the Corinthians, that was as it was then, and now as the club has developed, it's developed the same way as life and people have changed. And now it's just absolutely tremendous that competing in semi-professional or non-league, as it's called, and the only amateur club playing at this level, I think is absolutely tremendous anyway.
It's strictly amateur, and that goes from the players, the management, all the way through the club. And to compete at this level, and what James, the manager, has done is incredible to get us promoted to a level where there are players in this league that are on 600, 800, a grand a week, and none of our players receive a penny for playing. They play for the love of it.
I know some of those have been offered significant money, but they enjoy it here and they continue playing.
And to compete, we're sitting mid-table in this league at the moment. We were unbeaten in January. That means a lot. There are players here because they want to be here. There are people here because they want to be here, not because of a wage. And that means a lot.
The Corinthians were so influential that Real Madrid copied their all-white kit, and after watching the English club play a friendly in Sao Paulo in 1910, 5 local railway workers were inspired to start their own club, Corinthians Paulista, now Brazil's second most supported club and 2-time Club World Cup champions.
And they asked people, and I said, do you know about Corinthian-Casuals? And everyone's like, who? And they play a mile away down the road, like, no, I never heard of them. Yet in Brazil, everyone's heard of us. Some of the history that is in this club is tremendous, that they fielded the full England side on a number of occasions. They took football around the world, they introduced it essentially to Brazil, to a lot of Europe, to South Africa, and they had the real world's best footballers at the time. They were like the Harlem Globetrotters of football.
So it's pretty crazy that such an important club now play in the 7th tier of English football with average attendances of under 300. But that hasn't stopped them being recognised by the global community of football fanatics. In fact, it's not uncommon to see Brazilian supporters make the pilgrimage all the way to King George's Field. And even more amazing is the fact that when Corinthians Paulista planned for their opening game at their new stadium in 2015, they invited Corinthian-Casuals to contest it after their fans overwhelmingly voted for them over Chelsea, Real Madrid and Barcelona.
And just being there, watching people that you call your friends out in the middle playing against the 2-time FIFA World Champions, and front of 30,000 people was just like, this is surreal. Utterly surreal. And holding them to 0-0 for 78 minutes was like, wow. This is, you know, why can't you play that like that against Faversham? Or, you know, every week, you know, well, what's going on here?
Furthermore, that trip helped the club to gain further exposure in Brazil and secure vital sponsorship deals which have helped the club to keep going. Now you've got the lowdown on this historic club. Let's get on with the game.
There's been a feisty start to the game. Neither side's really had the better of it so far, but the challengers are flying in. Just what we like to see in the non-league as usual. Just because they're amateurs does not mean that they're any less committed to the cause or committed of anything. So yeah, Corinthians showing a lot of fight to begin with. Yeah, let's hope they can turn it into a goal.
So 10 minutes gone and already 1-0 Corinthians. Perfect start. Bognor Regis fans may have made an enemy out of me today because kept on interrupting our interview. So I'm hoping for an absolute battering from Corinthians. 10 minutes gone, 1 goal, perfect start.
Bit of a let off for Corinthian-Casuals. Their keeper and captain Daniel Bracken nearly spilled a shot into his own net, but managed to save it in the end. So yeah, it's all right, panic over, and Corinthians have a free kick now. So let's see how that goes.
It's only been 20 minutes so far, but a standout player for me has been the goal scorer Hamilton Antonio for Corinthian-Casuals. Obviously scored the opener of the game, and has just been everywhere, like putting in tackles in the centre of the park, breaking up play, creating chances. Really special player, probably one of the shining lights of this team for sure. And little fact for you, Zach Gelab actually tried to get him to play for FDFC a little while back. You know, I can see why he didn't want to, because Corinthian-Casuals much more attractive proposition, clearly. But I can see why Zach wanted him, because he's a pretty damn good player and would improve FDFC a lot as well. So if you're watching Hamilton, give us a call.
As you can see, I've got a hat on now because it's just too cold and rainy to not. So I'm just going to have to deal with that. But Corinthian-Casuals getting back into this again. They were on the back foot for a little while, but now they're playing some really nice stuff in keeping with the Corinthian spirit, of course. And yeah, I can see them getting another goal before half time, hopefully, because they're finishing letting them down a little bit. So yeah, let's see how it happens.
I am your burger man.
So 550 overall, not too bad. Put a bit of hot sauce on it, as I always do. That is alright. They've got onions in there, can't taste them, but probably going to have to give this a 3. I mean, there's nothing really to shout about. I mean, I've got the hot sauce in there, but yeah, I'll give it a 3. Chips look very good. Got a bit of garlic mayonnaise on there. Got to have a bit of sauce. They're hard on the outside, not much in the way of substance, quite light chips, so I'm going to have to give them a 2.5. Yeah, a bit disappointed. They look better than they are, unfortunately. Michael's got something very different. What on earth is this?
May not look the most appetising on camera, but let me tell you, this is really, really nice. Black bean stew. It's the vegan option. Only £3 as well. Really good value. And it is a Brazilian dish. Keeping in the spirit of the club with the Brazilian options. This is really nice. Perfect on a day like this. Really warms you up, warms the soul.
15 minutes into the second half now, and it is 1-1, unfortunately. Bognor Regis back in the game. A little bit of a mistake from the keeper and captain Danny Bracken. Unfortunately, he was looking a little bit shaky in the first half, and it has come back to bite. Let's just hope his teammates can, get Corinthians back on top, because they are still playing some pretty good football. Very good going forward, just a little bit shaky at the back. So yeah, come on Corinthians.
A bit unfortunate really, Bognor Regis just scored and now have a penalty just about to be taken. Yeah, 2-1 Bognor Regis. Not really the day we wanted. Yeah, quite frustrating that. Bognor Regis have actually got themselves well into this game. 2-1 up, look like they're going to see it out, unfortunately. They can really control the game well. Big chance there for Corinthians, number 9 got on the ball. Shot was really disappointing, one of them the keeper, so should have really done better, but yeah, it's looking like it's going to go Bognor's way, which is... So play was suspended just then. Corinthians player Max Oldham took a big injury to his head, so obviously for his own sake and precaution's sake they called an ambulance and suspended play. Hopefully he's alright, he's in the ambulance right now, so he walked off the pitch, everything seems to be alright, but hopefully, those kind of big breaks and switch games, so you never know. Come on Corinthians.
It's about 3 minutes to go now, not looking great for Corinthians. They've tried a lot in this last 10 minutes. There's been a lot of spirit there, but the final ball has just been a little bit lacking. Fans have been fantastic too, stuck it out. And one thing you can definitely sense is the love for the manager, James Bracken. They've been singing his name all game. They've got a fantastic banner they put right behind the goal, and you can just see how much he means to them. Like this is one of the best managers in this club's modern history. He's taken an amateur club to the best position they've basically ever been in their history, which is really saying something in this day and age when there's way more money in the game even at this level. So yeah, I mean, you've got to take your hat off to him. He's been in the players' ear all game as well. Clearly a very passionate manager, and yeah, he's earned his respect at this club. Pretty amazing to see.
3-1 Bognor Regis. I mean, they've just been more clinical when they've had the chances, really. Good hold-up play from the number 9, brings it down, good pass to the left and slips it past the keeper. So unfortunately 3-1. There's the final whistle, 3-1, full time. So that's it for Corinthian-Casuals non-league vlog. I've had a genuinely brilliant time. It's been cold, it's been wet, it's been windy, it's been everything you don't want on a non-league day, but I've still had a good time. There's something about this club that's really special. On and off the pitch, they're overachieving, and the fact that nobody, absolutely nobody, takes a penny home from here, it's just outstanding. You will never find a club like this. It's a proper diamond in the rough. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's pretty amazing just the history of this club. Obviously, this is a club that took football around the world, and that's now been reciprocated. You see flags from clubs from all over the world here, from Spain, Germany, obviously Brazil, to name just a few. And yeah, you can see why they're so loved. Obviously, it was a shame we couldn't speak to any Brazilians today, didn't catch any. I expect anyone who was making the pilgrimage might have been put off by the piss poor weather. But nevertheless, we had a great time. Thanks to Corinthian-Casuals for having us. Thanks for everyone at the club for speaking to us. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a big fat like down there. Leave your comments in the section below. Where should we go next? Let us know, because 2019 is the year of non-league vlogs and is the year of FDFC. So subscribe if you haven't already. James, anything more to say?
I'll see you on the next one.
Yes.